Well, greetings, sisters. Welcome to Sunday Services message for the beginning of fall. And I would like to dedicate this Sunday service to my beloved mother who just crossed over a few days ago. This is Ethel Sue Bolton, a great mother. And this is her at 17 in her beauty queen days back in New Bedford, Massachusetts. And her name was Ethel. She hated that name, but it actually means royal born. So I convinced her of that years later, and then she liked her name better. So this is my mother, and she lived a great life, a kind life. She was a wonderful example of compassion and kindness. And so I bless you, Mom. You are going into some new experience. You have fallen away from the body, as is really good to do in fall away from constructed identities, fall away and let something new unfold. So bless you, Mom. Thank you for a lifetime of good care. I will miss you so much. And I know you are our angel for the Goddess Temple now, looking over us, helping us, creating magical synchronicities for us, because you loved our temple and you loved the temple women and you loved coming to Goddess Temple services. So I thank you with all my heart, Mom, and I dedicate this Sunday services message of falling away to you. So yes, we are falling into autumn, into fall. And one way to look at this is to allow yourself to be her golden leaf and let yourself fall. Willingly let go. Float on the crisp air, the coming crisp air. Still a little warm out, but the coming crisp air. Fall into goddess consciousness. And in this next season of autumn, of fall, September, October, this is a great time to become truly aware of letting yourself land in the state of satisfaction. Most women are so busy working and producing from their mother archetype that they never really allow themselves to land in their queen archetype, which is receiving the harvest of the mother work that you have been doing. Time to receive. You cannot work forever. That is not a natural cycle of life to work forever. So let yourself land in this state of satisfaction. And that's not easy in patriarchy, because patriarchy is specifically set up to prevent you from doing that, of course. But no matter, patriarchy does not control you, does not control your internal state. Your own wisdom does, and your own female understanding of how life actually works, not how patriarchy tells you that it works. So really focus on landing in a feeling of satisfaction, like the leaf falling and landing in the rich soil of satisfaction and completion, your harvest, the harvest of your work coming home to feed you after all your hard work. Most women never really get fed, metaphorically speaking. They feed others, but they don't really get fed themselves. So let's change that. Let's become aware of a different way to live. And then in November, you can settle deeply after you've eaten, metaphorically, your harvest. You can settle very deeply into the energy of November, which is gratitude, peace and gratitude. And then, of course, what follows, December, and with it, your divine rest in the darkness. That's how it's supposed to go. That's not how it actually goes for most women. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Our goddess spirituality centers on the exquisite and perfect power of Mother Nature And Mother Nature teaches us so beautifully everything we need with each season. Each season has its great and particular wisdom. Winter is resting in the deep quiet peacefully. Spring, sprouting, coming forward into newness with confidence. Summer, creating with passion and bringing something into flowering and then fruition. Celebrating everything of the material world, the physical world. And we know that the word material has its cognate with the root mother. So every time you hear the material world, don't think of it as patriarchy would have you think of it as something less than spiritual. Think of it absolutely as part of goddess creation, as spiritual as anything else. Material, mater, mother. So that's summer, creating with passion in the material world, the beautiful world of the physicality of this plane, and celebrating everything on this plane, celebrating all that you've done, all that you've created, all that you've birthed with joy. And now here we are in autumn, just beginning to enter the season of autumn, also perhaps more insightfully called fall, where we are reminded naturally to allow, if we're willing, many things to fall away. And this is a good thing. Fall is our chance to stop for the next season or two that building of egoic structures that tend to obscure the light of unconditioned consciousness that wants to shine through you. During spring and summer, we built all these structures in the material world. We worked, we brought things forward, we created things, we began things, we grew things, we put things out there. And our dominator model system, our androcratic system, our androcentric system, teaches us falsely that we are always supposed to be building, always supposed to be growing, always supposed to be expanding. But this is a complete lie. First of all, it's impossible. All physical structures are meant to pass away, all of them. The house you are living in, all of this, one day will crumble to dust. The body you are living in, one day will do the same, just as my mom's has, or is doing right now. Nothing, absolutely nothing in the physical world continues forever. It's not meant to. It's not designed by Source to last forever. There's this new study I read on the internet that just came out that showed that it proved conclusively that the capitalist model for unending growth actually cannot and does not work long term. Well, duh. Goddess women have known this all along. No materiality is meant to expand and live forever. All things arise, all things subside. The wave comes up and then it melts back down. This is the natural order of things. This perfect design of Mother Nature's, of having all material things fall away, is meant to help us have a chance at newness, a chance to wipe the slate clean and rest, and then start again. The patriarchal mindset cannot stand it when the economy is not growing. But cycles of growth and then harvest and then rest are the natural way of things. And if we will not, as human beings, create economies and social structures and cultures where we surrender to the natural cycles of Mother Earth, of Mother Nature, then she will at some point slap us upside the head and force us to accept those cycles. And that's what an economic collapse is. That's Mother Nature smacking us and saying, hey, you thought you could go on forever? You thought you could stay awake forever? You thought you could grow forever? You thought you could get bigger and bigger and expand and take and take and take and eat and eat and eat forever? No, you cannot. No, you cannot. There must be a time of resting. So these cycles are the natural way of things. And that is also why we must not accumulate constantly, because too much accumulation is called hoarding, and no one wants to be called a hoarder. So, as I mentioned, my mother just crossed over, and as many of you know, and my sister and I, my sister from South Dakota, Pam, wonderful Pam, just spent the last few days cleaning out my mother's accumulations of cards and old letters and paperwork. Oh my gosh, she saved every card anyone ever sent her for the last 50 years. There were hundreds and hundreds of cards. When you don't trust in the universe, you have to collect a lot of stuff around you in order to feel your identity, in order to feel safe, in order to feel real. But this is a terrible irony, actually, because energy held in our bodies is what actually keeps us safe. And every object that you own has an energetic cord running from you to it. And a tiny little bit of energy is always leaving your body to that thing for which you are responsible. Obviously, the more things you own, the more energy is leaving your body to maintain the connection between you and that thing for which you are responsible. So simply put, the more things you own, the less body, mind, spirit energy you are able to maintain in this physical form. So having a lot of stuff doesn't keep you safe. It actually drains you. So this is the season of not adding more to the accumulations of our life that are already there. Not more knowledge, not more entanglements, not more stuff, not more beliefs even. Not adding more. And not only that, but as we enjoy our harvest and focus on that and stop adding more, then we gently move into letting some things fall away. So this is a good place to start in your awareness of this season by not adding more. And then later on, letting fall away what seems right to you. So not adding more knowledge. Are we not already so weighted down by so-called knowledge, which is really, more of it is really just information, just tidbits of information, each one small in and of itself, but added together in a great pile, a great mountain. All that information it feels to me in my life overwhelming in its ability to clutter up my mind. It's like we have gone out shopping every day, and every day we brought home one small trinket, one little tchotchke, one little knickknack, harmless and unobtrusive, only takes up a little bit of space in and of itself. What could be the harm, we ask, in this little thing? But you do that every day, while at the same time never letting anything fall away, never divesting yourself of previous bits of information, because it's all so important to have. And so it all builds up until we are hoarders of information. Files of useless paper taking up space, shelves of books we just can't let go of, certificates of achievement framed on the wall of our office. And for a lot of us, our identities transfer to that external evidence of our accumulated knowledge. And our egos say, hey, look at this wall, look how smart we are. When in truth, if we let go of all the accumulations that prove how knowledgeable we are, then we become more transparent, and a great light can shine through us transparently, a light of pure conscious awareness that knows everything immediately. No certifications needed. Everything known right now, immediately. That's the potential state that you could be in if you let go, if you let fall away all the proofs of your knowledge and smartness and wisdom, and just let that light of consciousness, which knows everything, shine through you. So this is the season of letting go of all of the proofs of how smart we are in favor of just knowing that we know and not needing to prove it to anyone. Let fall away the news. Oh my goddess, do we really need to know how bad the world is at this moment in every specific agonizing detail? Does it help us to live our lives beautifully? Will there not be a new set of agonizing details tomorrow? Do we really need to know all of that every day? So maybe let fall away for this next month or two the news, just for a time. Let fall away perhaps Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and whatever else is on that screen, because what's on the screen is actually a hologram of life, a reflection of reality, but it is not reality itself, is it? Reality itself is walking through an autumn forest and smelling the soil and romping joyfully through the falling leaves with your dog. That's reality. Spirituality is enjoying the best of what is, the best part of what is, and focusing on that. Perhaps let fall away the striving for self-improvement. This is a big one for me. Many of us love self-help and self-improvement books, but we have all read a million of them, haven't we? What if we just let go of that striving, that urge to improve and develop ourselves? And what if we simply knew that we were good enough? Oh no, not just good enough, more than enough. No, not more than enough. Everything. We are everything. We are already everything. What if we let the desire to improve ourselves fall away this fall, and we just enjoyed the reality of who we are right now? How magnificent we are right now. Because you are. You are goddess walking. And I dare you to improve on that. Perhaps let all history and entanglements fall away. Are we not already so weighted down by the history of each relationship, carrying a load of ideas about everyone we know based on our experience of them, kind of like dragging a big burlap bag full of old stuff behind us? Our egos tell us that we will be safer somehow if we keep some kind of catalog or list in our head of every experience, particularly the terrible ones that we've had with that person. If we collect that all in our heads, then they'll never be able to hurt us again. We'll be on guard. Forewarned is forearmed. But does this so-called knowledge perhaps get in the way of what is now? We think we know our loved ones. We think we know our spouse, our kids, our employer, our employees, our friends, our coworkers. But is it not true that we ourselves have changed over the years? We're not the same person we were 10 years ago. We're different. Don't we want to be seen for who we are right now? And are we willing to give that as a gift to those in our lives also? If your husband, say, if you have one, or your adult son, say, if you have one, has, quote, always been this way, as you roll your eyes at his deficiencies, doesn't your internal negative affirmation of him pretty much ensure that this is what you will be bringing forth in him tomorrow? because you're not really allowing him any space to be different. What if every fall we made an agreement with our loved ones that we were going to let fall away every negative thing we thought we knew about them, and we made this agreement to enter into something fresh and new with them, as if we have just met them for the first time. And I wonder what beauty we could experience in that kind of fall, that kind of falling away of old, tired information that's not helping us bring forth beauty in the future. You don't even have to tell them. Just every time you see them, just decide to let go. Make a conscious decision to let go of everything you've accumulated about them in your head. And you might ask yourself, what's going to keep you safer? Your carefully maintained list of past hurts and insults inside your head, or just pure goddess consciousness and awareness in this now moment with them, right here, right now. Something comes up, you can deal with it. You don't have to have that list in your head warning you of how bad they are probably about to be any moment now. Your goddess consciousness will help you see if something is unfolding right this moment that you need to deal with, that you know that you need to hold a queenly boundary on. Perhaps this fall we can let fall away many beliefs and opinions, just for a season or two. You can pick them up again if you find that you need to. Most of us, I certainly have been, are on such a search to find the truth of the way the world is. Find it in our religion, in our politics, even in our very carefully cherished and held beliefs about food and the correct way of eating. Some people have turned that into a religion. And that is a search initiated by our egos. Our egos cannot stand feeling indefinite, uncertain, cannot stand in the unknown. The great sage Krishnamurti said, if you are very lucky, you may experience freedom from the known. But we are so filled with opinions, with egoic structures that shore up our temporary identities in this body, that most of us really won't let ourselves experience the unknown, which is where all the freshness is. We won't experience or see things for what they really are, and then our minds slowly close to actual reality. The wonderful teacher Sadhguru says that his only real form of spirituality is simply to pay complete and total attention to what is. He specifically did not read all the great Hindu and Vedic scriptures when he was young, because he sensed that accumulating beliefs would actually hinder him in his spirituality, in his ability to see what was right in front of him right now and respond to that from a place of source consciousness. So what if you let go of all your ideas about your spirituality, all those cherished beliefs, and just for this fall, just stayed absolutely present to life, moment by moment. And what does it mean to have a belief? It means to cling to an idea and let that idea complete your personal sense of self. What if your sense of self needed no beliefs? What if your sense of self was as one with the entire multiverse? What if your sense of self was as goddess? I wonder, are we ready for that much power as women? Are we ready for that much consciousness to shine spontaneously through us in every now moment? Our egos fear their own death more than anything else, and when we stop shoring up our egos with all these external things, they tend to die, and they don't want to die. So our egos actually want us to constantly be sort of on the prowl for more things to shore it up and let it live. But what if letting your ego die means that you are actually far more alive and real right now? People say, oh, you must transcend the ego. You actually can't transcend it completely, because you need an ego to live in the physical body. Your ego tells you what the boundaries are between you and everything else around you. And you need that in order to get food, eat food, not give everything away to everybody else. So you need your ego for certain purposes to live in the physical body. But most of us have highly inflated egos that are our mistresses, not our servants. And they are supposed to be our servants. So what if letting your ego maybe go to sleep a little bit more, get a little bit smaller, if not actually die? What if that means that you're actually far more alive and real right now, and powerful? Because being completely conscious in the now moment is the maximum amount of power that any woman can express. Being conscious keeps you prosperous. Being conscious keeps your body healthy, tends to keep your body healthy. Being conscious tends to keep you physically safe. Being conscious keeps bringing the next synchronicity, the next magical event, seemingly magical event, to your life. So I would ask, can we handle letting our ego fall away and reveal that much inherent power that already lives within us? Most people can't. Most people are secretly saying, where's the TV remote? I need to watch TV because I cannot handle that much consciousness. So what if you, just for a moment, let fall away all of your carefully held, closely guarded, cherished beliefs about politics, and just listened calmly to that Trump supporter speak? Oh, I know, horrors. That just sounds like anathema to you. But what if you really heard him without any comment, without any judgment, without any opinion from you? What might happen? Well, I don't really know, but maybe nothing. Maybe nothing would happen. But I do know this: not letting others be heard in your presence never leads to anything good. That's one of the greatest gifts you can give to humanity, is simply to let them have a space to express themselves without any judgment from you. I know it's kind of challenging, but we'll work on it. What if you let fall away this fall all your ideas? Oh, and this is a big one for me because I have so many ideas about food and health. What if you let fall away all your ideas about food and health practices that you have read in 1,000 health books? And what if you just, for this fall only, for this autumn, what if you just listened to your body in the present moment? What if you really just let it speak to you every day and tell you what she wants? And then what if you just gave her that? Try it. Maybe it'll work better. Maybe you'll be more comfortable and happy in your body, and she'll be happier with you. She is an outpouring of your soul. Maybe connect with the soul of your body and give her what she asks for. So September is the month of harvest, and this fall, Mother Nature teaches us, or tries to teach us once again, to stop working, stop building, stop starting new things, stop creating, because that was for spring and summer. And now it falls upon us to simply bring in our harvest, the return of all our hard work. Enjoy it. Then November is the month of gratitude. Let us feel our gratitude for all that we've had this past year. And December follows with its divine peace and rest. So all of that is what Mother Nature teaches us. That's what she wants us to know. That's what's actually supposed to happen for human cultures. But how is it really in your life, in this patriarchal world, in this dominator model culture? If we are employed, really, could you mail your employer? Could you send your employer an email and say, dear employer, my goddess spirituality says I'm not supposed to work for these next 3 months, so just keep sending me a check and let me bring in my harvest with gratitude. My church tells me that I'm supposed to totally rest in December, so I'll see you in January, and be sure to keep those checks coming. Thank you so much. No, patriarchy makes sure that everything is upside down and backwards for you as a woman. The next 3 months is actually the time that you work harder than any other time of the year, isn't it? School starts and you have to get the kids ready to start a new school year. That is completely backwards. This is a time of natural endings, not beginnings. You have people coming for the holidays, big meals and celebrations and events, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Yule, and 90% of that work falls on woman. So in this dominator model culture, which was not created for woman, which was not created to help us be fulfilled human beings, joyful, happy, it was not created for that. You have to do the best you can. But it does help to know what is healthy and natural. And it does help, once you know that, to focus on doing your best to come as close as you can to that. So here are 3 things you can do. And some of them you may not do perfectly well. Some of them you may need to work on a little bit or practice a little bit, but practice them, because practice makes perfect. The first thing is delegate. Require that the entire family pitch in on everything. Don't do every job alone. Do as many jobs as possible, either with people or delegate them to people who would be halfway decent at that thing. You are the queen. You are the center holder, not the servant. You are here to serve as the vision holder for your realm, not the servant meeting every need of those in your realm. You are here to hold the center, not do everything for everybody else. Delegate, delegate, delegate. The mother works her ass off. The queen delegates. And who will you be this season? The slaving mother or the gracious, center-holding, focused queen, organizing life, being the architect of a beautiful life? I say be the queen. Number 2, no new commitments this season. Say no to all new commitments, all new obligations that people are trying to foist off onto you, trying to rope you into agreeing to. You will not be in charge of that block party. You will not help anyone move. You will not take anyone's dog while they're on vacation. You will not serve on that new committee, not this season. This is your season of harvest and then rest. And number 3, reduce your screen time to the least amount possible for you. You will not watch TV every day. You will not check emails, phone messages, and texts more than once or twice a day. You will walk in the moonlight. You will go to bed early. You will take baths by candlelight. You will require that people leave you alone for a period of time each day. Blessed solitude. So this fall, be her beautiful golden leaf. Willingly let go, float on the crisp air, fall into goddess consciousness. In September and October, land in the rich soil of your personal satisfaction, in the harvest of your work, Let yourself be truly fed by your work. Appreciate what you've done. Invite others to appreciate what you've done. And then November, feel your gratitude for all that is. And then December, find somehow the peace of divine rest in the darkness. And know that you are an exquisite golden leaf of Goddess Fall. Blessed be.